I'm Deep Mahaman and you're watching the Redmen TV.
Yeah, Edin's echo, groping Philip Lahm is all well and good. It leads us very nicely into Manchester City versus Liverpool. Chris, obviously, as we'll go with for the standard proviso, we haven't played Arsenal yet as we're filming this one, so this could impact massively how we feel about this game in advance. But Manchester City pushing for the title, Premier League title holders, oil billion funded mega team. What a
worry they have now.
Oh, piece of piss ball. Now that you put it that way. No, a little bit. I mean, obviously, cause for concern.
Yeah, they are. I mean, they're a good, solid side, aren't they? Obviously, I don't think they're firing on all cylinders going forwards at the moment, but the gap's coming down. Is it 5 points now to Man United or something?
Before they play QPR, don't they? As we're speaking away from home, which obviously will have a certain impact on things, given if they go out on top and 10-0, you know.
Then I'm even more worried.
Dad, looking back though, first time obviously we faced City very early in the season. You know, it was very much if we're a work in progress now. We were taking baby steps under Brendan Rodgers, and yet we actually gave them a pretty good game at Anfield.
Well, I think we wiped the floor with them for most of that game, didn't we, to be honest? And how we didn't win is just a mystery.
Yeah.
You know, but then we probably did actually put in some great performances early on. I don't know where it all went wrong.
No, it's
we did have a terrible start to the season, but in terms of the fixtures we had to take on. And we did really well in them without actually getting the points we should have done.
Yeah.
And it's obviously we were starting from a very low base then, 5 or 6 games in.
Yeah.
But City aren't as good as they were last season.
Yeah.
They're probably suffering the post victory season. I mean, until United started winning the league every season, it used to be quite difficult to win it 2 years on the run.
Yeah.
And I think City are showing why, because it's very difficult to motivate yourself and raise your game to that level.
There's one thing, Pip and Man United to it once, but Man United have done it already. They've done it time and time again. They'll always be there and thereabouts. But Man City, it's great they've got it under the belt. We haven't done it in the Premier League era, but there is that added pressure on them to repeat the feat this season.
Yeah, I think there's a lot going on with City, because you've got, they did a team of the year so far, team of the season so far, and I think the top 10 teams all had a one player in it, and it was very diverse. Whereas this time last year, Company, Hart, Silva, Yaya Toure, Aguero, 5 guaranteed. Zabaleta was the only one in this team of the season so far. So I think the big players have dropped off. Company's nowhere near that player he used to be. Yaya Toure isn't. Silva's been injured and he's slowly coming back now. But the other one is they took their eye off it a bit because they wanted Champions League and then fucked that up badly because they got the Champions group. They had the Dutch champions, the German champions and the Spanish champions in their group, and it was tough for them. But that took a lot out of them. They're not used to playing that. So then the league performances, but now they're picking that back up. And then the other one is, I think they're shit in financial fair play. I know I mentioned a bit about Chelsea and Joe the Lampard contract. Look at who they bought this summer. Garcia, Sinclair and Rodwell.
Richard Wright. And let's not forget.
They are not your Silvas, your Agueros, your Zekos.
Let's be clear. You sell Nigel De Jong and replace him with Jack Rodwell.
Yeah.
That's not an improvement on a title.
There's elements of having to have certain nationalities in your squad, which is coming in, and also financial fair play. I think they're scaling down. I think they're having to realise that shit, we're going to get sanctioned because Malaga shocked everyone. And they could be next, they could easily be. So I think there's a flux. Also, I don't think, is their manager going to be their manager next year? I know Guardiola's not going to be it because he's basically said he's going to Bayern. He's been confirmed. But Jose Mourinho looks like he could be out at Chelsea. And I don't know whether Mancini just doesn't, even though he's won it, he was kind of never liked in almost a way of,
I don't know. I think he's popular with City fans, isn't he?
If they have a trophyless season, I think their owners will start to ask questions about it.
I think Man City, it's going to be a big test. Man City, it's going to be very interesting to see whether they're a Chelsea or whether they can be more of a. Because it's weird, Chris. I mean, I don't begrudge Man City having money. I don't know why, and I think it's possibly because they've had such hardship over the last sort of decade.
That, you know, their fans are fantastic, aren't they? And I think that, you know, they basically put the money into fucking League One when they were down there by taking however many fans they did to every ground, and everyone was sort of made up to play Man City because they're going to have a full stadium, like. And you don't begrudge fans who follow the team through thick and
let's
thin.
face it, if it had been us, we'd have been, you know, laughing, wouldn't we? If someone had come in with that kind of money and bought us, we wouldn't have said, "Oh no, we don't want it." You know.
Yeah.
We'd have been thrilled. So.
And plus they hate Man United as much as we do, which is always a good thing.
Yeah. In fact, now that Chelsea and Arsenal are dropping off a bit, there's really only City who are doing anything to try and stop United winning another title. So thank God for that.
So we want them to do it, don't we?
So basically,
we want them to be something.
But this is the thing, is that this is the moral dilemma, and this is the worst thing, is that we're not putting together any solid challenge in the league. We don't want Man United to win. This is how far we've fallen. It's that we would consider. I mean, we would never consider. We want to beat every team that we come up against. I'd want us to go and absolutely wipe the floor with City, just to go, haha, up yours for the Anfield game. Like,
it's a sad state of affairs. But for me, I've stopped even worrying about what United do now. We're not in the same league. We should be worried about the Tottenhams and the Newcastles and the Stokes.
Yeah.
Sadly.
Fucking hell. We've had a couple of these shows recently, haven't we? Like, we were into things around. We were Aubrey. We were nothing but a Martin Skrtel back pass from hell away from beating Man City at the start of the season.
Yeah, like your dad said, the fixture list wasn't kind to us, especially for a new manager. You know, maybe if we'd have got those same fixtures and Kenny had been given a second year and it'd have been a bit different, it might have been a little bit different. But fucking West Brom away, and it's Steve Clarke playing against us, and then you've got
champions
City at home, then Arsenal at home, and then it was Sunderland away, which is never easy, and then Man United at home. So then that killed confidence. He was going in there and he was saying to them, look, trust me, I'm going to teach you to play a fucking brilliant way. I'm afraid we got 2 points on the board after 5 matches in the conference, and then Lucas got crocked. Let's not forget, City game, second game in, first game at Anfield, 20 minutes in, Lucas is out. And he was building the season, or building a lot of his pre-match press talk was like, Shelby's great, he's such a young player down, because I thought, Lucas gets it, he's so intelligent. Oh shit, Lucas is gone.
Alan is good.
And this whole thing of like, where does Alan play? Alan had to play the Lucas role, and then he had to sort of compensate for that. Like, we've been dicked a few times this season. The City game wasn't one of them. You know what I mean?
I don't think. I mean, you say that. I mean, really, it was the Arsenal game at Anfield is the
Tottenham.
Real. I mean, Tottenham
away, first 20 minutes.
Yeah, first 20
Stoke
minutes.
away the whole game.
I suppose Stoke away. Yeah.
Villa at home.
Alright, I'll be sure.
We've been dicked a few times.
Alright.
No, but Arsenal was the only one out of the big teams that really did. We went toe for toe with Man City. We were unlucky not to do it, and it was that I don't know. We were talking before about Rodgers, and there was that thing of we were kind of angry that he hung the young players out to dry because what he said wasn't particularly great. Remember, after the City game, he came out and went, "I don't blame Skrtel for that at all. The way we're going to play, we're going to make mistakes."
But I think that speaks volumes about, because we know he's got that. He's the kind of manager, he uses words like brilliant and excellent. He's such an upbeat manager. So when he does come out and say, well, hang on a second, that's not good enough. I think that exactly. And what I just don't like when people go, why is he criticising? Why is he saying this? Well, hang about. No, you know, that says to me that he has got a real issue if he's prepared to actually come out and say things like that.
I kind of lead into what you're going to talk about later. Those people, I bet the people who were saying, I can't come out and hang the kids out to dry, you can't say something negative, were the ones who were criticising them for not kicking off at Skrtel, for passing the ball backwards, because they're just not going to be happy. Just
to go on that, we've talked about Oldham on part 1 of the subscriber show, but to death. But he actually said, he got asked in the post-match interview, did Liverpool deserve more? And he said, no, we didn't deserve more. And it's funny because people actually don't watch the interviews with him. They read little snippets of quotes and tweets and headlines and bits on Team Talk and whatever. They don't actually watch the full interviews with him. And people, as one of the criticisms, well, if it's not good, why doesn't he say it's not good enough? Well, he has done. He'll say if it's not good enough, and if it's fine, if it is good, he'll say it's good. So it's not as though he only has one tactic. It's not like he says everything's brilliant and happy and sunny in Liverpool world. When it's not, he will. He
says that, Paul, while he's posing for another massive portrait to go in his house.
And that's what people think. Strumming out a quick tune on the
guitar. Think, isn't it? So
that's what people think.
Yeah. The thing is to that is like when you're talking in the media and stuff, and you can do your yes, brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. It's got more emphasis when he then comes out and says it was bad. Yeah. And that's when the players will be like, all right, he's normally this is fucking brilliant. We need to step this up.
Well, it's true. It's that, but it's like a school teacher thing. If you have a nice teacher who's lovely with you, when they lose it, you like shit, you know what I mean? It always stood out. Whereas the teachers who were just angry all the time, eventually you just switch off to it, don't you?
But then he couldn't have said anything other than what he said, could he? You know, because we got beat by Oldham in the cup. He had to say we were awful because we were.
Yeah, that's true. Most definitely. Let's have a quick look then at a Dangerman focus. David Silva, as already mentioned, not quite having
back into form last couple of games.
I mean, he's just a hell of a player, isn't he? But he's got an open play pass completion this season of 86%, which is very good indeed. He's only had 25 successful dribbles. I always think of him as being more than that, but I think he plays more centrally, doesn't he? Yeah. Whereas obviously less sort of although hasn't stopped Luis Suarez, has it? He's got a grand total of 5 assists, scored 3 goals. He's created a grand total of 60 chances, 10 of which are clear cut. Just to put a slight little bit of context, I was really struggling because we haven't got anyone who's remotely comparable to David Silva. Raheem Sterling has obviously got 2 goals and 2 assists. I mean, and I think that's they've played a similar sort of number of games. I think Sterling's played 1 more game, and he's obviously nowhere near the David Silva class. But that being said, Silva's only scored 1 more goal than he has, and I say only 3 more assists. But I think that's reasonable enough. One interesting one, Sergio Aguero, who just won me over big time last season. I'd have loved to have seen him in a Liverpool shirt. He's another one. He's had a slow season. This one, I know he's had his problems with injuries, and I was wondering whether it might be the injuries might be a massive factor. But what's interesting, if you look at the stats right now, I think he's played like 14 appearances starts. All of his stats are roughly half of last season. He made 30 appearances last season, thereabouts. Everything's half apart from his goals, which is he's got 8 this season, whereas he scored 23.
Later, did you?
It just says he scored. Last season made 31 and scored
23. He scored 23 last season. So it's obviously he's still creating the chances. He's still having as many dribbles. His pass completions exactly the same. He's getting into all the same positions. He's just not scoring as many goals. Now, is that a second season syndrome perhaps, or
it could be? Yeah, I don't know whether their style of play has changed slightly, and. You know, Tevez is sort of having the same as well. You know, on fantasy foot, he's got loads of fucking points, but he's got a lot of assists, I think, Tevez now, rather than goals this year. And Aguero's been in and out, hasn't he? I mean, he's only made 14, so he's missed like 8 games, hasn't he? So
the thing is, he didn't play with Tevez last year. That's the difference.
Well, you forget that, don't you?
Tevez was fucked off in Argentina playing golf, wasn't he? So Aguero was playing. Aguero and Tevez are very, very similar. I'd argue if we were Liverpool fans and if we were City fans, or if they played...
Whoa, we nearly gave the game away.
Everton tops or if they played for Liverpool, you'd probably be arguing, you'd be saying, can Tevez and Aguero play in the same side? They're too similar, they take the ball off each other. So I don't know, I think that might have a factor to it.
coming in as well and scoring goals and with us.
Yeah.
You know, he's a good player. And
he's a very underrated player, Edin Dzeko, and he likes feeling.
The other thing about City is they don't lose that very often.
I don't think they haven't been beat their own
very difficult side.
Well, interestingly, again, under the proviso that they're currently playing QPR as we speak, so prior to that, they've taken 15 from a possible 18 in the last 6, which is top of the form table, basically.
Man U was the loss, wasn't it, in that?
Yeah, the interesting thing, home form though, they've taken 13 from 18. We've got a better recent home form than they have, which is obviously counts for nothing when it comes to this game. But interesting, but the worry, I mean, their home form is one draw loss, win. Yeah, but as I say, it's our away form. We've only taken 7 out of 18, so that doesn't necessarily bode well for us. But we're Man City are in the league anyway. Obviously second, but as we know, could well be closer to the top. Could well be further away. They were 5 points behind United at the time, having scored 45 and conceded 19. Not scored as many as the Manx, but conceded a hell of a lot less. Chris, we've talked time and time again in recent weeks, particularly since that whole we don't beat top half of the table sides stat was revealed to us, much to our horror. Do you think we've got the ability to go to Eastlands and get a result a la what the Carling Cup say last season? Do you think we've got it in us to go and do it?
I've said before, I don't think Rodgers tactically can take us into those games and get us points the way that we could go there with Benitez and tactically get a draw or a win.
Going past the bus, what you're saying?
Even
like.
Dalglish, remember his first game, went away to Chelsea and we played 3 at the back and everyone was like, what the fuck, and we won 1-0. You know, Rodgers seems to be uncompromising until we take that step up.
That being said, I mean, that we've seen him change systems. Play 4-2-4. Who knew that? Who knew that formation even existed anymore? I mean, do you think that if we put our strongest team out, does that team have the ability to go away to Man City and come away with 3 points?
I think it's possible. I mean, we played really well at Chelsea, you know, and if you play at that level, then you'll give them a game.
Yeah.
The trouble with us is that we've only recently brought Sturridge in, so we're still not quite a team that scores goals when they should.
Yeah.
You know, if we take our chances, then we'll give them a game.
But we've been saying that.
Yeah, but we've only had Sturridge in for a couple of games. That's looked promising, you know. And if he plays a decent midfield behind Sturridge and Suarez, you know, then I think we can give him a game.
Definitely.
That having said, if City actually regained the form they had last year, then obviously we're going to have to.
Could be any spot above the line. Chris, do you want to have a bash at starting lineup?
Is Reina fit again?
Apparently Pepe Reina, Jose Enrique and Glenn Johnson are all available for selection, which does make things interesting.
Yeah, so obviously depending on whether they played at Arsenal. Pepe Reina in goal, Johnson right back.
Yes.
Aguero and Tevez. Not the game for Carragher, I don't think.
But, yeah. But what is
Skrtel and Aga, Enrique, Lucas, Gerrard, Henderson, Downing, Suarez, Sturridge.
So pretty much our best.
Probably our first team.
Our first team, yeah. No, anyone want to make any counterpoints to that? Anyone think we should?
I think there's a possibility he might play Barini instead of Downing.
Yeah.
Not that I think he should, but I think there's a possibility he might. And I think in terms of the future, that as a front three has got really great potential because they're all able to play all across the front.
Yeah.
The difference from each other is they all bring something.
I think there was one of the very few sort of highlights of that Oldham game was some of the glimpses of the movement. Barini in particular for Suarez's goal. He makes the run that draws the defenders away. There's that great little move where Joe Allen wins it on the edge of our box. Suarez plays it up. Barini plays a back heel to Sterling. You know, we've started to see little glimpses of what maybe what that forward line can achieve.
I think he'll go 3 at the back.
You think?
Joe, there's one that was the mad shock against Everton, away at Everton. I think he'll go 3 at the back.
I don't think we've got. I'm not sure we've got enough centre halves.
I think he'll play Wisdom, Skrtel, Aga as a 3, Johnson and Enrique as the wingers, and then it's the two of Suarez and Sturridge up front, and then whoever.
So I would rather have Carragher in the back three.
In the midfield. Or Carragher might come in then. Like, I think Carragher's going to start getting games. He said, because it was the Man U game, wasn't it? He said we're just too quiet, we're too quiet a team, and that's why he's brought Carragher back. I think he could be looking at actually seeing Carragher play a lot more football.
Well, it's going to be, I think, obviously, again,
Completely
watching at home, you will see if Jamie Carragher holds his own against Arsenal. I think he'll be guaranteed to keep his place as long as he's fit.
And he's made a few noises, hasn't he, Jamie, about he'll have to consider his position if he doesn't get to play more often.
Fair play, you know. I'm sure, as we said, you've got 10 years left in you in Italy, Jay. Do a Costa Curta, do a Maldini, go for it, come back as manager. Why not?
Coach.
Yeah, so you see him and Gerrard sat on the bench against Oldham, like, and I just thought,
He didn't look very happy, did he?
no, but he looked like the Liverpool manager when he was sat on the bench. I got a real good vibe about that. You heard it here first. I want to talk about. It might well be done and dusted by the time this comes out. More than likely, Bye Balotelli apparently gone to AC Milan. Are you anyone gonna miss him?
I think his stories are amazing. You know, the things that come out, they're so funny. Like, again, I'm glad he's not our player. Because, you know, some of the stuff Suarez does, you wake up and you read it and you go, oh, fuck, we're going to have to deal with this again today as a
Yeah.
And imagine being his manager. Balotelli's the same, but I think, on his day, he's a fantastic footballer.
He's the kind of player you worry about if he's playing against you.
Yeah.
Because you never know what type of day he's going to have, do you?
But he could suddenly turn around and score a beauty.
That game against Spain in the World Cup, he was fantastic in that, wasn't he? You know, and you thought maybe that had been the putting to death of him, and then he's going to come into the season this year and he's just going to be amazing, and he hasn't.
The big issue with Balotelli, I think, again, it's mental. We've seen it time and time again with footballers, and goes back to, say, let's use Stan Collymore as an example in this one. Every physical attribute he needs to be a world-class player mentally, because you've got that. Does he ever work on it? No. So when he steps up to take a free kick and he lines up, he hasn't got a fucking clue what he's doing. He's not rehearsed anything he's doing. It's pure instinct. So you see him and it's like a key moment, and he steps up and he's just as likely to put it in the top bin as he is to put it in Rose Head, and he doesn't know which is going to happen. He's just going to wave a boot at it and it might go in. There's no method behind what he does.
Not like Beckham who would...
He's the antithesis of David Beckham and Jamie Carragher and these kind of players.
Natural rather than...
Well, they used to say it about Ronaldo, didn't he? He called him Fat Ronaldo because it's so disrespectful. He was amazing, wasn't he? He was the best Ronaldo. The real Ronaldo. Yeah. He was exactly the same. He said he never really trained because he was that much better than everyone else.
And we can see the result now.
Yeah, he obviously wasn't into fitness. We'll figure him out the minute he had to stop being fit. He decided,
Pies is what he was into.
What I thought about Mario was that all the antics you hear about suggested to me that he was just bored. You know, he's young, he's filthy rich, and he's got nothing to do.
Yeah.
You know, and what's he doing at night, sitting at home in his mansion? Oh, I'll just set up a few fireworks.
Oh yeah. Why?
You supposed to for a press conference.
Yeah.
Like that was the best one. Just walked into the press conference.
Yeah.
No, he is. It sounds like he's got ADHD or something as well. Because the one about the prison, because his brother doesn't do anything, because his brother just happens to have hit the jackpot of being the brother of Mario Balotelli, who's a multi-millionaire by the age of 22, 23. Is
that,
and then they went over and they were walking around Italy, and the two of them were like, we've walked past this women's prison 40 times in our lives and always thought, wonder what it's like inside. So they scaled the walls and broke into a women's prison and got caught doing it, and they were like, we just wanted to see what it was like inside, because they're just young and stupid and bored more than anything, and maybe when it comes that easy,
the first person to ever break into a prison.
Yeah, that should be his epitaph though, shouldn't it? Like, that's Man City career, young, stupid and bored.
Yeah.
Mario Balotelli, you know.
And again, he's still got so much time to become a fucking fantastic footballer, and someone's going to always take a chance on him.
Yeah.
He's like Anelka in some respects, isn't he? He's very gifted. very, very difficult to actually get your head around what the hell he's thinking or doing.
Yeah.
I think
And
he did
actually
change
just-
it in fairness to Anelka.
Oh yeah,
Bolton
he
did.
sorted it.
After Bolton, yeah.
But as he got older, he got better, didn't
The
he?
maturity,
And he
wasn't
actually
it?
just signed a big contract for
Juventus.
Juventus.
Yeah, he's just
really?
joined.
4 years.
Yeah, he's just joined Juventus for 4
That's
years.
genuinely devastating news. I was holding out for a cheeky little return.
Drogba's gone to Galatasaray.
I know, that's bonkers as
And
well,
Anelka's
isn't
gone
it?
to Juventus.
Good to see the money's still in China.
Shanghai, yeah. Shanghai Shenhua went shit.
Right then, it's that time once again. What time is it? What time is it, Chris?
Vote for
It's
us.
vote for us time. Yeah, it's time to pull your tweeting fingers out your bums and vote for us. It's going alright. I think we were up to second last I checked. We're still miles
But
behind
Paul,
first.
you are no J-pop special challenge show. Super duper.
K-pop apparently is where it's at.
Zombies in Korean pop or something, but no zombies.
But no zombies, I don't know. So Korea pop has beaten us. Why? Don't let Korea pop beat us. What are you thinking? Get voting right now. ShortyAwards.com. ShortyAwards.com.
And you can always bring a few zombies into the show. if you want.
Zombies, I'll do. I tell you what, if we win a Shorty Award, we win the Vox Populi by coming top, by getting the 2,000 votes we need, we will do the show afterwards in full zombie makeup.
And can we get Big Al to do Gangnam Style?
No. Zombie, anything. You know what we'll do? I'll offer up suggestions. Let us know what we'll do if you get us through the finish line, get us into first place.
Mankini.
No. Chris will wear a mankini if we or alternatively, Chris will not wear a mankini. Chris will be wearing a mankini if we don't win. So have a think.
Yes, that's the way to do it.
Have a little think about that one. Yeah. Which is it easier to vote or check out Chris's
I still think we need to sort of go down the route of we're not posting any more videos until we get 2,000 votes.
And you just get we're not watching your fucking show again. Like, you know,
Well, that's our choice. We're not posting any more videos.
No, Chris in a mankini, vote for us. If you want to see Chris in a mankini, vote for us. If you don't, vote for us.
Win.
Yeah, ShortyAwards.com in #webshop. You've got to do it because and do a nice glowing reason. Stop putting because Paul told me to.
They don't count these votes.
You know, because eventually they actually one of the things is the Vox Populi is that who finishes top, and then they pick one as well from the top 5 or whatever they go to the final 6 or whatever, and it can come down to some of the nice things that have been written. So write nice things. And don't think nice things because Paul said. Use a little bit of imagination. Look at some of the other comments, get some inspiration. Anyway, thank you very much.
And don't just copy the other comments.
Yeah, you know, have a little bit of variation, switch the words around or something if you have to, you know what I mean? Plagiarism's only a crime if you get caught.
Don't leave the links in there from Encarta 96.
Aubrey, back to Liverpool, Man City, give us a score prediction, please.
I don't really want to be honest.
You've got no choice.
I'm going to say 2-1 to them.
And you, Paul, next.
No, that's not how it works.
2-1 to us.
Ooh, Chris?
I may go with a 1-1 draw.
I will join you on a 1-1 draw. I hate this. I hate not knowing the previous result. I said I wanted us to come out of Arsenal and Man City with 2 points as our basis. If we can come away with 2 draws, of course, if we've lost to Arsenal by this point, then we know it's not possible, unless we're going to flash back to 1992 in the European Championships qualifying when you still get to. Anyway,
Well, with 3 though.
yeah, exactly, which would be lovely. But look, if we can get 3 points, I think that's
After
a very,
2
very
matches,
good. After 2 years, that's
It's
very
more
good.
likely that we're going to get points off Arsenal, isn't it? I think.
Yeah.
You mean 4 goals in 10 minutes, Arsenal?
This is the Arsenal last week who was saying, oh, well, you know, they're not in great form, and then they just turned it up, didn't they? Anyway, yes, let us know your score predictions. Do you think Liverpool have got enough firepower now to get past the champions, or do you think we're going to get tonked? Let us know in the comment section or tweet us at the Redmen TV. Also, let me know your lineup predictions. You will have a far better idea of the players available if Enrique's broken down again, as he has a tendency to do if he cements his place as the new Fabio Aurelio in the Arsenal game, then do let us know, of course. Thank you very much for watching. If you're watching this on the Subscribe Show, stay tuned. We're going to be talking about why every Liverpool defeat seems to trigger outrageous overreaction and bipolar craziness from certain factions of the Liverpool support. If you're watching us on YouTube, see you later. You can watch it on the redmentv.com if you wish. It's free for a month, so do check it out. Chris, why does every defeat trigger outrageous overreaction and bipolar craziness?
I think it always has.